guys, so we're back for another video. If you guys see me in the same outfit, I filmed a lot of these videos in the same day, so bear with me. This video is basically about frozen embryo transfer number 2. The process, COVID-19. Oh my gosh, guys, COVID-19. But it's a story. Let's get started. Okay guys, so as you guys know, guys has seen my 4-step journey catching you guys up to March. I just want to let you guys know that, remember when I think it was part 3, when I said that timeline is not everything? My doctor initially told me after it happened in February, early March, to wait a month. Wait a month before you try again. So I said, okay, I'll wait a month before I try again. Then COVID-19 happened. Ta-da. I am in New York, the hot epicenter of COVID-19 that was getting whirlwind of cases after Italy and China, and it just traveling all its way right back down to us. And you know, this is tourist nation, and literally everything shut down. So I started working from home. The OR for IVF, like for all of the procedures in the fertility clinic, closed down. So there was no way for us to even do a transfer, start the process, because the OR was closed down because the state ruled they need all those equipment, so all of these things were shut down. April came, I emailed my nurse. I said, hey, I know COVID-19 is going on, but how are you guys handling that? She said, well, we're not starting anything until May. So I said, okay, no problem. You know, I have no choice. I gotta wait. I took it with a grain of salt. I said, no problem. So I relaxed. I kept doing my work. I kept doing what I gotta do. You know, working from home, staying focused, staying right. May came around. It was approaching. So I let her know like 2 weeks. I said, okay, I know you guys are planning to start back. Is it still true? I said, my period is on time. I always tell her my period is on time. Am I starting May? She said, yes, we're actually starting May 1st. So I was like, that is awesome. My period's supposed to come May 2nd. She said, okay. She said, you know, of course, get your billing cleared and everything. So I called up my insurance lady for billing. It's always a story. And I'm emailing her. My nurse is emailing her. I don't understand what is with me and people getting to do things. I'm emailing her. My nurse is emailing her. She's not responding. My nurse is like, well, they're working part-time, so she's probably backed up, but she's been emailing her nonstop. I'm calling her, everything. Finally, I told my nurse, I said, you know, my period's gonna start either like today, because it hit May 2nd. I mean, it was in the morning, and I was like, and I still haven't heard from the lady in insurance. If she clears me, I can start. She goes, well, keep me posted, because, you know, we can start you 5 days. So if you hear from her, let me know. May 2nd, exactly around afternoon time, guess what came? Told you this thing is like on point. So it came. I emailed my nurse. I said, it came. She said, well, you know, keep reaching out. I'm gonna keep reaching out. So we're both reaching out back and forth. We're reaching out. Period only lasts me like 5 days. I ended up hearing from my nurse the following week, the following Friday after it was done. I was at that point, I was like, I give up. But I try to be understanding, because I said, like I said, they're backed up, they're working, but at the same time I'm like, damn, like this just pushed me back, you know. And that's what happens when you're a person that plans to the T. Our downfalls is something that we just have to live with, you know. And I was just like, this is insane, like this is, I can't. Finally got on touch. She's like, hi Naika, sorry for the delay, I have been so backed up. So we go through the process, I paid and everything like that. I was good to go. Other nurse calls me, your period stopped, so we're gonna have to start you in June. So I said, okay, no problem. I mean, there's nothing I could really do. Then another nurse called me. She's my IVF coordinator. And she said to me, I had to fill out more paperwork. Every time you do a transfer, they fill out the paperwork and like our signatures. So me and my husband's signature, everything. So it was in DocuSign, everything was online. So I signed it, filled out everything, and he signed it. And then the IVF coordinator got it. So that's how it worked. It was really, really cool. And after that, it was really smooth sailing from there. I just had no choice but to wait. So while I waited, I said, you know what? Let me just start something different with my body. So I started this Daily Harvest smoothie, and I'm gonna drop the link to Daily Harvest below. And I started this Daily Harvest smoothie binge, and it was just like, literally, I felt so much better. Because you remember in, I think it was part 2, I was telling you guys through my retrieval process, I was going through a lot of pain and unexplained inflammation. And I started this Daily Harvest journey, and oh my gosh, my body felt different. I felt great. I'm still doing it till this day. So it's great. Like, and I love it. It's literally like a smoothie journey of me trying different smoothies with fruits and vegetables and everything that's pretty good for you. I did the one that was a month. So I told them, I said, well, being that my period started May 2nd, it's going to most likely come. May is a long month. My period cycle's my cycle's 27 days. It's gonna come on May 28th. Didn't I tell you guys my period is on time? Guess what day it came? May 28th. So from the beginning of May, so you know, I've been doing my smoothies. I've actually even buy frozen fruits, or I'll buy like fresh fruits, and I will cut them up and I will freeze them to prepare them for my smoothie. So I've done all of that, all of it. It has been good. It has been great. I have no complaints. You know, you're gonna see a couple pictures here of the different smoothies that I've actually blended and I've actually taken. So good, so good. They definitely would recommend it. So like I said, the link is below. And it was so great. So May 28th, my period came, and here we are, getting ready to start Frozen Embryo Transfer round 2. I went to my first appointment. I did everything. Did blood work that day. I did a sonogram. Everything went smooth. They started me on the estrus. The good thing is that I don't know if it had to do with the fact that I ate differently. The impact of the medication, the estrus. The first time I took estrus, it was hard. I'm about to tell you guys with my inflammation. But this time, for some reason, I did not feel anything. I didn't feel anything. My body took it well. I started to drink pomegranate juice because pomegranate juice is good for your lining. A nurse did my first sonogram. Then a doctor did the second sonogram, and it was 5 millimeters. I remember this because this is fairly new. 5 millimeters. My next sonogram after that, he actually increased my dose. So I went from 2 milligrams of estrus 2 times a day, which is 1 pill. 1 pill is 2 milligrams, to 2 milligrams 3 times a day. Then after he did my first ultrasound, he ended up my dose to 4 milligrams 2 times a day, and then 4 milligrams 3 times a day. So the difference between now with COVID and how it was before, I was actually going to appointments more often before. Now they gave me instructions worth for a week. So my first appointment I had was the initial blood work, and then they started me on the estrus. The next appointment was a week later. So they gave me instructions from that first appointment, which was Friday the 29th. My next appointment was a Thursday the 4th of June. I had instructions from that Friday till Thursday the 4th. So I went to Thursday the 4th. He did my sonogram, and then he gave me more instructions from Thursday the 4th to Thursday the 11th. I think that's the days. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. So I did it from then. And after that, he told me he upped my dose again. So my sonogram was 5 millimeters, 5.5 or something, 5.8 at the time. And then he upped my dose, and I had another appointment, like I said, on the 11th, and my lining was 9.8. I was like, wow. 5 to 9, like my lining was great. Like then my estrogen levels was great. Everything was looking great. Asked me how was I doing on the estrogen. He's like, are you getting nausea? I said, no, I'm actually doing pretty good. He's like, so then we're gonna leave you on the dose that you're taking, which is the 4 milligrams 3 times a day. So I've actually been taking my 4 milligrams and I've been good. Called me on the 11th and said, continue the same medication, but we want you to come on the 13th for another sonogram, blood and sono. Now, the reason why they want me to come on the 13th was because he wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna ovulate. Because if I was gonna ovulate, he was going to move up my transfer. But from that day, they told me my transfer was gonna be June 19th. I was excited. Okay, June 19th, here we are. On the 13th, they told me I went in, and they told me on the 14th that I'm gonna start my progesterone shot 11:30 in the morning, continue the same meds, and then take my antibiotics, which was azithromycin, a Z-Pak, Zitromax for short. Sunday came, I took my injection, my progesterone. I've been taking my estrus. All of a sudden, I threw up 30 minutes after I took my Zitromax. I've never reacted to Zitromax or had a reaction like that ever. 30 minutes later, I threw up. So tell me if that medication dissolved in my body. Absolutely not. So I said, let me do the right thing. Let me email my nurse. I said, hey, I threw up 30 minutes after I took the Zitromax. What do I do? Do I have to do it again? So she said, let me speak to doctor. She forwarded my email to him. We'll see what he says. So she responded to me not too long after, an hour later. And he said that you should take I forgot what that thing is called. I'm gonna just put a picture of it right here. Like, I don't know what it's called or the name of it. I'm gonna put the name of it right here. No idea what it's called. Can't pronounce it, don't ask. So I started to take that, and he gave it to me for 5 days, for 5 days. So that basically was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days. Cool, fine. And that one I took late at night. So I actually responded to that well. I took it late at night, and it flowed really, really well, really well. I took my progesterone shots every single day. I stayed on my meds. I am really bad in terms of taking meds. So I literally have to set an alarm for myself every single, like exactly when I need to take it, because I am not gonna remember. I will be doing 10 different things, look at the time and realize, oh snap, I missed the time that I'm supposed to take my pills. It happens. I took the first 4 milligrams at 9:15 in the morning, the second 4 milligrams at 2:15, the third 4 milligrams at 7:15 p.m. Then I took my prenatal at 9 o'clock, and I took my progesterone shot at 9:15. Talk about a schedule. That's how I've been doing it. It's been pretty well. I've been pretty much on point with it. And that was it. Wednesday came. I had to come in on Wednesday for a progesterone check. So they did blood work for me. Wednesday was oh my God, I think Wednesday was the 17th. Wednesday was the 17th. Went for my blood work for progesterone, and the numbers came back, I was a 26. So she was like, that's great. We always require that people be more than 10. So your progesterone is really, really well. So I was excited about that. I was like, that's great. That's awesome. You know, they said, keep doing what you're doing, everything. So transfer day came. That is a story all by itself. Transfer day came. I am cool, calm, collected. I did some morning stretches, just become one with my womb. I was just relaxed. You guys have no idea. My appointment was at 9 o'clock in the morning. Everything is, I woke up 2 hours early, because this place is actually a whole 40 minutes from my house. So I woke up 2 hours earlier, brushed my teeth, took a shower, got ready. Here I am getting ready to leave. I went and did a friend of mine's hair the night before. Left my portable charger at our house. So now my phone is on like 20%. I'm like, I need my phone because I was taking a Lyft or Uber. My husband had to work. My phone at 20%. How is this gonna last me for my whole trip? I gotta come back home too. So in the moment I was like, maybe I should call my dad. Have my dad, but my dad, he lives all the way in Brooklyn. I'm in Queens. I'm like, I didn't prepare him for this. He knew I was going through the process, but he didn't know when it was. I can't just drop this bomb on him. So I have another phone that I have on my work phone. So I use that as backup. So I go on my work phone now, and I am trying to set up the Lyft and the Uber. All of a sudden it won't take my card. I'm like, out of all mornings, my card is working. My card is fine, but it was just saying it won't accept. I tried 2 cards. It was not working. I was like, I don't understand what is going on this morning. I don't understand. I was literally just trying to, take it with a grain of salt and try to stay as calm as possible. Finally, I end up using the charger that I have for my work phone. The reason why I didn't use it initially is because my work phone is an iPhone 8 Plus. My my personal phone is a 7 Plus. They said that the charger for the iPhone 8 Plus and up is a different charger, and it could mess up the older phones. So I was just like, you know what, at this point I don't care. I need some juice, because it looks like this lift is on this cards are only gonna work on my original phone. So I just plugged it in. I said, I'm gonna take it as it is. I got my phone to 50%. But as my phone is charging, because I'm letting the juice flow, I'm calling a lift. This guy is sitting there in one spot for 20 minutes. I messaged him. I said, you've been sitting in one spot. You moved once, but you didn't move. He did not move. I'm texting my husband the whole time. He's like, what is going on over there? I end up calling the clinic. I said, I am going to be late. They said, how late? I said, 40 minutes. I was struggling with this for a whole hour. My appointment was at 9. I left 9. I ended up getting another lift. They had to call the OR nurses and said, Naika's gonna be late. Is that okay? And they said, oh yes, that's okay. I mean, my transfer is my transfer. They can't change the date. So, but I felt so bad, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not expecting this to happen, you know? And I'm like, this is great. This is fabulous. And then not a lot of Lyft drivers and them were working. I've been having a lot of trouble actually, just for my appointments and stuff like that, getting on and traveling and stuff like that, because it's hard with COVID. You know, everything is so restricted and so limited. It is officially transfer day. I'm at peace. I'm positive. I did a little bit of stretching this morning to kind of just, you know, get my body in tuned. I'm excited, very bittersweet. I'll just continue to rest after that and just, you know, like I said, be one with my womb. You know, everything is gonna go smooth, and I know that everything is gonna work out this time. I mean, you just have to be positive, you know, always, and just leave it in his hands. Of course, I'll probably try my hardest not to test after. Promise to myself that I'm not gonna do that. So, this is it. All right, I will try to video. It's not guaranteed, because they're very strict, and actually doing my transfer during COVID, you know, I can't make any promises. All right, so see you guys on the flip side. Okay, bye. I finally got in the lift. I made it to my appointment. As soon as I got there, I went up to the nurse. The nurse checked my temperature, and that's how it's been. They've been checking your temperature. You've been signing this form. Anything COVID related, if you have been diagnosed with COVID, have a temperature, runny nose, any of the symptoms, you have to sign these forms every single day, every single appointment, for everything. So I reached the appointment now, and mind you, when I called the nurse and I told her I was gonna be late, she goes, what's your name? She's like, but it's your transfer. I'm like, I know, like, what do you want me to do, fly there? I got there, and soon as I said my name, they literally got up, called OR, she's here. Next thing you know, I see a nurse coming out, passing by, and she goes, Naika's here. I'm like, I feel like I was wanted for arrest. I was like, why does everybody know my name? I sat down for maybe 2 minutes. I go in, I change. I already knew the process, because for my first transfer, I got dressed, everything like that. I went and sat down. It was a little bit different. The first time I was on a bed, this time I was in a chair. I had my mask on, and the nurse came. She went over everything with me, signed forms, everything. So everything was good. After that, my doctor came out. So there was another girl. There was a couple people that was there, but because mine was supposed to be way ahead, and this was my actual doctor that was doing it, I ended up going next. Nurse came out and said, so I heard you had a little bit of trouble. I'm like, damn. I was like, yeah, this morning, rough. She goes, listen, guess what? You're here, you're safe. I said, thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you. I am here. I am safe. I am well. I am good. My doctor came. He told me my embryo was also a 4BB, like it was the first time. Hey, like I said, I'm leaving it in God's hands. And he said, are you ready? How is your bladder? Because you know you guys got to drink. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you that for my first embryo transfer. First embryo transfer, I was struggling with my bladder. I think I went to the bathroom 3 times before I actually was called in for the transfer. To the point where when I got in for the transfer, the doctor was like, well, your bladder is not as full as... could not hold my pee. I could not. I was like, what am I today? I mean, I don't know if it was nervousness. I didn't understand. But this time, I was just cool. I didn't have to pee. My bladder was comfortably full, as they always say that it should be. And I went in, was relaxed. My doctor was like, you're so still, you're so calm, you're so relaxed. I said, listen, hey, by the grace of God, everything is gonna go great. I'm here. I'm in one piece. That's all I care about. And it went smooth. After the transfer, he said to me, he said, unfortunately, I know we can't shake hands. He said, I'm excited for you. I know we can't shake hands because the fact that, you know, we're going through this COVID. I was like, exactly. But I had my mask on, everything was good. They actually did transfer me on a bed after, and I sat there for like 5 minutes. The nurses and them were cracking up because when I got into the OR, I walked in, and you know how we have the gown and how it's a little bit open in the back. I tied up my thing. It was like a little dress. And the embryologist was like, oh my gosh, she made it. First of all, the nurse was like, I know you tied it. And then she's like, but make sure everything is open. And embryologist, but she made it so cute. Looks like a little dress and everything. I was like, I cannot. I just wanted to make sure I was covered because sometimes you're walking around. Everything went great. I came home. I did have those McDonald's fries just to see, it doesn't hurt. I also did buy a whole pineapple, and I cut up the pineapple into like 7 pieces. They say eat it for 5 days, but I cut it up into like 7 pieces to give myself some extra days. So I had a piece. I've been eating pretty good, so that's not a problem. So I ate my vegetables and everything like that. I had a little bit of my smoothie, and I just relaxed and I slept. I had bloating, cramping yesterday. Like I said, it could be just after the procedure. I am pretty at ease. I'm calm. I'm just gonna focus this 2-week wait on my YouTube channel and just making sure that this process is smooth. So my next video is definitely going to be about my symptoms and the results. So by the time I post that video, you know, who knows? All right, but I'm leaving it all in God's hands. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. There's so much more where this come from. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.